Okie dokie. All right. Back this up just a bit. All right. How's that? Audio good? Everything good? You guys good? I'm good. I'm just kidding. I'm not good at this event anymore. But I want to be. Anyway, how are we doing now? Actually, it wasn't that bad. I can't even solve an FTO. I would recommend at least getting one. I'd recommend getting one or using a virtual one to figure out how to solve one. And then if it is something that you're interested in, get the die-in because it's by far the best one. Whoops. I'm just filming 6x6 solves for my channel. I have one, I just can't solve it. You should look up you should do that for your channel. Learning how to solve an FTO and like seeing how fast you can get within a certain time frame. What up, Anthony? Okay. Are you going to be just doing FTO or other events? I'm going to do mainly FTO for this stream just because I haven't in a while and I've missed it quite a bit. I definitely see myself branching out into other events later on in the stream, but for like the first hour or so, it's going to be pretty much FTO and just catching up with you guys. Like seeing how the year's ended for y'all. Okay. I don't want to solve. I assume it's like 4x4 and Aperia combined. That's pretty much the gist of it. That's how the majority of people specify this. My dog is not the quiet type, as you can clearly hear. That was weird. Oh my gosh, my dog! She's such an amazing dog besides this, I swear. I'm assuming 17 is a good time for FTO. You must be good. Yeah, my personal record average is 17, and that is currently... Actually, is it in the top 10 anymore? I don't know. My peak world ranking back when the Diane first came out was WR4 for average, and I believe WR6 for single. I almost got back to WR4 for single, but I skill issued the last turn. What is it? Is it cubing contests? Cubing contest. Here it is. You can go to rankings, and then it should have FTO on by default. Yeah. Okay, average, let's see. Ah, I'm number 9. We're all good. Yeah, but I could definitely see myself getting back to... Basically back to WR4. I could see that happening. If I pursue FTO and like actually get a round or two. That's kind of unfortunate. The hardest part of getting world class in FTO is just getting the round in the first place. Because I have like maybe 3 rounds a year. How was your Christmas? My Christmas was interesting to say the least. It's the first time I've had a full-time job, and it's the first time I've actually worked on Christmas. That was so lucky. Yeah, I don't know. I woke up and immediately had to start getting ready for work, so I actually didn't even like see my family until after I got home. Which was a bit tragic, unfortunately, but it's what I gotta do to get paid time and a half. That was pretty good. The solution was pretty decent, but there were a couple of inefficiencies in centers that it didn't quite grasp. I've got a sub. Thank you, man. What's your PB single on FTO? It's actually quite poor for my skill level. My PB single on FTO is 12.34, and I remember because 1, 2, 3, 4. Haha, funny. But I have like 15 solves that are 12 seconds, and I have +2 and 11 before. Wow, I need to stop +2ing good singles by the looks of it. Do you have an Ivy Cube? I do have an Ivy Cube. I also have a Jumbo Ivy Cube. Ugh. Whoops. What's your PB on Ivy Cube? I have no idea. Ivy Cube isn't something that I actively speed solve. Also, I don't know why that was hidden. What FTO is that, by the way? This is a Diane that I got a Mystic setup from the Cubicle. Like, the Mystic setup is definitely not worth the money. I could have easily done this myself, but I was lazy. Oh, why am I bad? That's why I'm bad, okay. And of course I get OLP skip. Weren't. I remember at my peak I was globing like mid 17. I'm actually gonna do some IVQ because I got one for Christmas. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Whoops. I think that there's an alternative universe out there where I can get FTO WRs. Because, like, right now I'm actually averaging pretty good. And there's still a couple optimizations that I haven't quite figured out. I got the Ganby 100 and I'm hoping to make finals here in Georgia my next comp. Good luck, man. I have no idea how competitive it is in Georgia. But yeah, 303 finals anywhere is a big accomplishment. Nice. Bro. I got so bailed out. Ah, my turning fell apart. With ideal turning, that's a 14. For context, I averaged 12 and haven't not had a sub 10 average even at home. I have no idea because I just don't know how competitive Georgia is. Those centers were horrific. Like, that's another thing about FTO is the variance in centers, like, plays a big factor. Because, like, What's a good way of explaining this? Like the variance in centers on like 4x4, for example. Like sometimes for last two centers, you get a case like this, and it takes 7 moves to solve it. Versus like there are some cases like this that only take 3, but like the difference between them is very, very minuscule. Versus an equivalent like that on FTO is the difference between like a 3-move last two centers and like a 9-move last two centers, which can be like a massive difference. Whoops. Your solving is very good. Thanks, Ty. Ah! I don't know when we're gonna get another round, or like if you've ever cared about FTO since then. There is Caleb Chen, Eli Parker, Noah Sanchez. I think he is low 6 average at comp. Are the best 3 in GA. I know Nicholas Sanchez and I know Caleb Chen. I didn't know Eli was from Georgia. That's interesting. That was alright. I don't think he's GA, but he will be a next comp. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Maybe he's from Florida, actually. Because I'm friends with a Cuber in Florida, and they always complain that they don't get many comps there. Ugh. That's good. If I can continue like the look ahead progression I'm getting on events like 4 and 5, and actually figure out like how to properly turn this puddle under pressure, I could see myself getting WR. Ah. See, like, this is what I mean. It doesn't matter how good my solutions are if I can't turn the dang puzzle at 6 DPS like Aiden can. Like, the way that he holds an FTO is like completely different to the way that I hold it. Yo, I need a new blindfold. Which should I get? Go on to Amazon and search for like weighted blindfolds, and then get one of those. Because if you have a weighted blindfold, it's easier to knot on. What was that? Sure. I had a really nice 14 earlier that I don't know what exactly clicked for me in that solve, but it was quite nice. I just got the GAN Mega and it's made me want to start practicing Mega. Do you have any tips for getting around sub 110, starting from basically no Mega knowledge? Okay, so obviously I'm gonna assume that you're like around like the high 1 minute range, like maybe 140s. Am I correct in saying that? Like, what do you currently average, or have you just like not solved Mega? With Garrett blindfold, yeah. I don't know. I can't make my face like as iconic as his now, just because I can't raise one eyebrow. Like, whenever people ask me, "Hey, what is like a completely useless talent that you wish that you had?" It would be doing like the one eyebrow raise. I can't do it, and I really wish I could because it's super like it's very applicable to like most every conversation. Yeah. I've been doing. Oh, what? For some reason, the message got hidden or deleted because I clicked the wrong thing. Right. I've done very little before this, so I'm around 2 flat, but I'm getting a lot more sub 2s with the game. Okay. So the first thing that I'm gonna have you do is like make sure that you have your S2L order like solidified. Basically, what I mean is you have a set order for your S2L, and you do not deviate from that order under any circumstances. Once you figure that out, and all you really got to do is just practice, you'll get to about like the 1 minute 40, potentially even 1 minute 30 range. I don't know how fast people improve now. Excuse me? That's rare. $38. Okay, I've already been doing that. Alright. Or you can use Valent if you want and freestyle just by making blocks. I don't know. There's a lot of drawbacks that come with Valent. The main one is ergonomics. Like, you can't do the ergonomics of Valent as well as you can with Westland or Eastland just because there are pieces in the back. So you have to do a lot more back moves if you want to be efficient with that, and that's hard to do fast unless you put it on the table, which putting it on the table and picking it back up does cost time, no matter what the circumstance is. Obviously, Valent can work, but I wouldn't recommend it for someone trying to like first start out on Mega. Like, Valent had the world records in Megaminx with that method back in 2009, but ever since Westland got them, no one has gotten a world record with Valent since. It's all been Westland, mostly just because of Juan Pablo and... Or actually, Yuda Hyun uses a different one. But it's like, it's so ridiculously hard because you basically need to be color neutral in Mega, which is so stupid. Yeah, but after you like get that order and you're averaging like around the 1 minute 40, watch example solves because it like opens your eyes to how you can solve different pairs. And then just do a lot of untimed solves, like really drilling in how efficient you can be. like what I first started doing when I like first tried to get my Megamix efficiency better, back when I was averaging like just over a minute, like 101, is I would do a session of Megaminx where I would basically do linear FMC for it all the way up until last layer. Once I got to last layer, I would stop, and then I would enter my move count in. And then I would try the exact same scramble and see like what types of things I could have done differently to be more efficient on that. I did maybe 20 of those ever. 20, like full stop. I did maybe 1 or 2 a day for like 3 weeks total. And it dropped my global from like I want to say like 61 to like 54 pretty quickly. I twisted a corner, I already know that for sure. There it is. Which way? It'll be this way. No? This way? Okay. Alright, well, that is a unironic 24 average. Let's try to get that back. It's just the turning in like the last few steps that I struggle with. That was much better. What WCA event do you want to improve in most? Okay, so the short answer is 7x7, but the long answer is any one of the n by n's that can correlate into, or any one of like the biggest, most complex events that carries principles over to other events. So reason why I say 7x7 in particular is if I'm really good at like the look ahead of centers and edge pairing that is necessary to be good on 7x7, especially with Yao, which I use Yao for everything. The difference between like that can carry over to 6x6 and events lower than that. So that's why I would say 7x7. I could also say 5x5 blindfolded for that exact same reason. Because if I'm good at 5 blind turning and I'm good at like the memorization that it takes, I can then get good at 4 blind and thus I can transition to multi and even 3 blind. So in short, it's the event that gives me the largest return for investment. Shoot. What kind of ELO should I be doing? Because right now I'm just solving edges and solving corners. Yeah, so you want to do it in the order of EO, CO, EP, CP. And if that is full 4-look last layer, and if you're able to do 4-look last layer using like the commutators for the corners and stuff like that, as well as like learning all the algorithms for CO in particular, you can get your last layer down to about like the sub 15 range which for sub 1 is more than enough, in my opinion at least. That was good. Decent bit lucky, but whatever. Death Say 7x7, I don't do blinds. I like to see. Well, if you don't know how to do blindfolded, then getting good at 5x5 blindfolded is like even more beneficial for you in that case. Because it completely allows you to do 4 events that in your caliber right now are just non-existent. So like obviously for me, the only next step that I have to go for blind events is big blind means, and then from there it's just getting faster. But I already have stuff like 5x5 blindfolded like single and 4 blind singles. For you, it's a completely different story because you don't have even 3 blind single then. I like big cubes and enjoy look ahead a lot. I think it's more so like, what event would you want to get good at if you could just snap your fingers and be top 100 in the world at? Because for me, that's definitely 5x5 blindfolded. Ooh, or maybe I would want to do 7x7. Because top 100 in the world for 7x7 is like really, really low too. I think it's like 220. Which if I average 220 on 7x7, that means I'm hella good at all the other n/n's. And my cited SOR is going down by a lot. And like I can worry about the big blind stuff when I'm like an unk. What up, Wick Torg 5980. Wick Torg. I don't know what nickname to give you. I'm just gonna call you Wick. How about that? These centers are terrible. If I could snap my fingers and be top 100 at any event, it would be OH. Yeah, true. I feel like the objective answer is just to say 3x3 because top 100 in the world for 3x3 is almost sub 6 now. So if you were sub 6 on 3x3, you get a lot more street cred and a lot more publicity than being top 105 blind will ever get you. Ah! Okay, well, I'm quite bad, as it turns out. I thought that triangle was in the one back slot, turns out it was in the other back slot. That was a good redemption. Please try to read my last name. Torg? Torgi? What last name? Yoi? Lowercase Yomi. Yami? Yomi? Welcome. I don't know what a Yomi is. Alright, bye, I guess. Got another triangle pop. I really am just, like, not locked on my turning at all, just due to my rust. I'm so bad, bro. That's not even funny. I still say OH because if you're top 100 on OH, you still have at least average 7 to 8 seconds on 3x3. Well, top 100 in OH is 7 to 8 seconds. So you would have to be faster than on two-handed then. You'd still be good at that, and you might get lucky and get a sub 6 averaging comp in 3x3. I guess so, yeah. But, like, depending on the region that you live in, you don't necessarily need sub 6 to win. I mean, hell, I've won, like, 15 competitions, and I am nowhere close to sub 6. I have 7.3. I'm so bad. Okay. I have a good BPA, so... Actually, what even is my BPA? That's not calculated. Let's just get it. Why am I sitting here trying to calculate it? I guess I got it. That might be PB average. I'm not sure. I don't know what my PB is. Okay, well, 1574. I don't know what that is, though. You're on Twitter, right? Yes, I do have a Twitter account. Wait. There it is. I've been waiting for that for like the past 5 minutes. I've just said nothing about it. Ugh, none. Okay, that's definitely PB average. 15.4, I guarantee you I don't have 15.4 otherwise. Are you not a furry person on Twitter? I might be tweaking. You know, send the person that you're thinking a DM real quick. Actually, I might have DMs disabled. I don't know. Alex should be locking in right now just because I have PB and I need to roll it. I probably unrespected. Ah, damn it. Does 5.78 remind you of anything? Well, yeah, it's my PR single. Merry Late Christmas. I always said Larry Make Christmas, jeez. Merry Late Christmas. I've fully given up on cubing. Aw, why? Why are you giving up? There's been so much stuff going on recently. Oh, like in your personal life? I mean, that would make sense, yeah. Whoops. I just haven't got the time. I mean, fair enough. I wouldn't say that you should just, like, outright quit cubing or give it up entirely, though. Just, like, take your extended break if you need to. How are you doing? I'm doing all right. I got a PB average of 5 earlier. That was unexpected. Oh wait, I'm doing this on the wrong angle. There we go. I'm glad I caught that mistake then, because I would have gone straight back to OLP if I had continued through that. Still that solve. Does 1.26 remind you of anything, Kenyon? 126. I guess Liam's Puremink single at Colorado Cubing Weekend? But, like, I don't think that's what you're trying to get at. That scramble was ridiculous. It was literally just 2 tips and a sledge, and it was done. No, what is this? I keep recognizing that TCP with that AUF. Anyway, that's accounting 25. I'm bad. It was your 2x2 single on the Diane NSLO NP. Actually. Yeah, I guess so. $1.2. Oh, it's also my subscriber count in the tens place, 1.26 thousand. Do you have any tips for learning algs faster? Because I'm learning full PLL and Megaminx. For full PLL and the Megaminx, I have no tips because I tried that once and failed miserably. It mostly just kind of stems from like the way that you drill the algorithm. So like never do too many in one day. And like also make sure that you're really like drilling them to get them in your head rather than just learning them and then like checking them off a list. Because if you learn them and check them off a list without drilling any one of them, then you're just going to have to relearn them, and you're essentially putting in twice the amount of effort, all because you didn't just drill them before. So make sure that you drill them a lot. I do what's called bag drills, which is basically like you put all the algorithms inside of a bag, and then you take one out of a time, and then you drill it, and then you just repeat that until you're confident that all the ones in the bag you know how to do. So I would do them in like sets of, for ZBLL in my case, when I learned ZBLL, I would do them in sets of 12. Because every single COLL case has 12 like sub cases, I guess you could call them. What up, Elliot? Full PLL Omega might be worse than full ZBLL? Absolutely not. Full PLL Omega is way easier. The only reason why I chose to do full ZB instead was A, I just found it more enjoyable, and B, it was a lot easier to use in solves more often. Because on 3x3, if I'm doing the ZB method, it takes me like 15 seconds at the slowest. Versus on Megaminx, if I'm wanting to do full PLL, it takes me like 45 to 55 seconds just to get there, let alone remember the algorithm. So it was just a lot more convenient to do ZB in solves rather than using full Megaminx PLL in solves. Okay. Yeah, I am just not locked in. I don't know how that PB average happened now that I'm looking back at it. It doesn't seem... Like, that also doesn't, like, really feel like a PB, because I didn't, like, grind for a while and, like, got, like, a few good solves in a row. Like, I had zero pressure going into that last solve there. Which is interesting, because, like, I remember for a while, FTO was, like, the one event where I couldn't control my nerves at home. I don't think I have anything faster than that, though. I feel like I remember being 15.6. Or, like, something around there. Not 15.4. Okay, now I'm starting to fall into this bad habit where I solve the cube for the sake of solving it, and I don't solve it for the sake of getting a good time. So I'm not caring about what I'm doing, and I'm just putting pieces that are similar to each other next to each other, and then just doing the case I recognize from there. I'm fully convinced you have to be unemployed with no responsibilities to learn full ZB and average sub 7 with it. Well, to average sub 7 in general, you kind of need to do that. Like, it's very rare for someone who has a full-time job and, like, full-time responsibilities to get sub 7. You always get sub 7 earlier on in your life and then, like, sort of maintain it once you get those responsibilities. And also, it's just a proven fact that children learn faster and more easily than adults do. So you have a lot more time to like get information inside of your head and then properly use it. I think the only way that I'm realistically going to get like sub 7 or sub 6.5 or anything beyond that is if I pick up a coach. Because at this point, I just don't have enough time on my hands to realistically do that all on my own anymore. Like, it takes a lot of time, diligence, and then a lot of stuff that for me to not have a coach would be like almost that irresponsible, it seems like. Which was unfortunate because like when I first saw that Cuban coaching was like seriously becoming a thing, I was of the opinion that this is completely BS. Like these guys aren't real coaches. They're nothing. I still have that opinion for like Luke Reiser's mindset coaching because like mindset coaching, you don't have a degree in psychology. Like what you say is just experiences that work with you. It's not experiences that work with the human brain. Sure, it works with your human brain, but like everyone is going to be completely different, and you don't have the skill set to be able to psychologically analyze someone's issues and figure out ways to help resolve them. Like I think that's where I draw the line on BS. Versus Cuban coaching, like in terms of like actual methods, I mean they are smarter than me. They have the blueprint. They're more knowledgeable than I am. So like, why not trust them? Look, Eric just did a mini Gopher challenge, lol, and he got world best. Are you talking about like right now, or were you talking about the old one that he like +2 and still beat it? It was funny. I finished relearning full Soon ZBL a few days ago, and so far I've been getting more good solves with Soon ZB than with you that I learned before I got to Soon again. Oh, okay. No, right now? Like, did he just upload one? There was a brief moment in time where I considered like it possible that I can get my official mini Guildford to be underneath the world best mini Guildford at home. Now I'm kind of doubting that because like I remember back when world best was like, what was it? I forgot exactly what it was, but it was in like the mid 220s, which I felt like was achievable at the time, which I have since achieved. But now it's 219. And like that's even with a penalty. So you're saying that he improved it again? What did he improve it to? Back when World Best was held by Bruno Lee Kakkan. I have no idea who that is, if I'm being completely honest. I don't even remember what like the mini Guildford World Best was when I started. I just remember seeing a whole bunch of like 2x2 through 7x7 relays from Kevin and Felix. Like those were the relay World Best I was familiar with back then. Luke got a 5:54.51. That's just not true. I guarantee you he can get a 5-minute 54-second mini Guildford, but there's absolutely no way that that's what happens. Are you talking about a full Guildford? Oh, did a Guildford challenge. I'm stupid. Never mind. Yeah, full Guildford is a bit different because, like, it kind of heavily relies on your skill to be good at big cubes. what? Oh, I must have corner twisted. Because that corner is in an impossible state. Nice. Hi, Scuba348. Yeah, I don't know. I got a V11 8M ball core yesterday. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. Mini Full Guildford is a bit more like dubious when it comes to like showing a competitor's true skill. Because in my opinion, all that needs to happen for Lucaire to lose that world best is someone who averages a lot faster on big cubes. Say like Max Park, Timon, Nam, Lim Hung, Henry, even Kate Graham. Like any of those people, if they were any good at Megaminx and decent at any of the other events, they could probably be beaten. Just because their big cubes would carry them. So I don't know. I feel like Mini Guildford is a bit more like inclusive in terms of representation with that. The only issue that I have with Mini Guildford in general is just because 5x5 and Megaminx are like a majority of the time. Like, you can be world class at any of the other events, but if you suck at 5x5 and Megaminx, your time is just going to be not good. Like, for instance, Ziyu. Yes! Ziyu Wu. Oh my gosh. Ziyu Wu can probably get, like, freaking 5 minutes and 20, I swear. Unless he, like, isn't too great at, like, Pura, Clock, Cube, or OH, or any of the weird events. I guarantee you, yeah, Ziyu Wu is definitely the guy who I would consider the best to break that record currently, besides Luke. Obviously, because he just said it. Yeah, like, for Mini Guildford, I'm, like, relatively close with my PRs. And, like, my PB Mini Guildford is still, like, within reach, I suppose. Full Guildford, I'm, like, not even close, just because of 7x7 alone. He plus 2'd out a 7x7 WR single a couple of days ago? Yes, I know, I saw the video. Yeah, which, by the way, have any of you guys signed the petition to, like, get that guy removed from the WCA competitions? I have? Good. You ever just like 6 on 3x2? Oh, okay. Yeah, it really just depends on how much he cares about the kitty events. Because like 2x2, you can get a 4-second 2x2 solve and be perfectly fine. But like for stuff like OH and it's OH and Clock that I feel you could lose the most amount of time on. As opposed to like any of the events that Ziyu is already proven to be good at. That was clean. Yeah, I really want to see Ziyu get some more success because like he is such a unique solver when it comes to like his choice of methods for cubes. Because like everyone knows by now that his last layer method on Megaminx is completely different. Like he solves the edges plus 1 or 2 corners in 2 algorithms and then does commutators for the last 3 or last 4. But like even like his big cube solves are very unique because he does edge pairing on M, which is something that's not seen at the top level very much, or at least not anymore. Like, pretty much every single person does edge pairing. He also does S2L with LL on right. S2L with LL on right. Yeah, I mean, there was a brief period in time where cross on left was, like, the go-to strategy. He's been doing his Mega LL since, like, 2020. Yeah, I know. But, like, it hasn't gotten, like, much notoriety since he got the world record. Like, it hasn't been seen very much since. He also does as well with LLM, right? Yeah. There was a brief period in time where cross on left was the go-to strategy because, like, back when Q sucked, and you had to do, like, full wrist turns to do arm moves, and you had to do U moves like this, where you had to, like, push with your entire hand rather than just flick. Where you had to do stuff like this. Cross on left was appealing because you can do RUD a lot better than RUL. So it's a lot easier to do it like that, and it's much easier to rotate down than it is to rotate sideways. Just by nature. So like, there are some people from like a decent bit ago who are still fast with cross on left. Like, I think a former French national record was set with cross on left, and it's like 5.0. It's like mesmerizing to watch them do it. Yeah, I still just want to see ZU get some more success, because when you have a cuber as dominant as Max Park in stuff like 7x7 for such a long period of time, it's nice that every now and then we get a refresher. Like, we get a random Timon 5x5 single WR, we get a random Nam 6x6 mean WR. Like, it's nice to have those every once in a while, just to kind of like spice up the top end of the category. Because, like, I am not familiar with as much big cube rankings as, like, I am with other events like 3x3 or Squan. Just because Max Park is so dominant. Like, every single record that I hear about is a world record by him. Like, it's either a world record by him or, like, a European record by Timon Akiran. Like, that's all I've heard about. So, like, all the other, like, top big cube solvers I know next to nothing about. Like, I just straight up didn't know Lim Hung existed until 2023 Worlds, when he got 3rd and 7. Or was it 3rd and 6? It might have been 3rd and 6, I'm not sure. I think it was 3rd and 7. He got 3rd and 7 this year. I don't know. I saw that. Lim Hung was feet WR holder for a while, I think. Yeah, I learned that from Ty a while ago, because he showed me his bio and he's like, I'm a dude who used to do plastic toys with their feet very fast, and now I just do the big ones very fast. Or something along the lines of that. Yeah, I also just wasn't familiar with feet just because I started like going to WCA competitions like at less than a year before it was removed. Which was unfortunate because like I actually wanted to get a chance to compete in it and I never got to. So what? Oh. I'm very good at this event, guys, trust me. Are you gonna switch to WCA events or stick to FTO? Like right now? I could see myself switching just because I'm kind of rambling with the chat more and it's causing my FTO skills to go down. So I'd much rather do like an event that I just don't care about the times, or an event that is very short. Wait, what year did you get your first WCA competition in? I have a 2019 ID and I went to my first competition in March. So it was kind of like before the announcement was made, but I also only got to go to one competition ever that actually housed 3x3 with feet besides US Nationals. And yeah, I didn't compete back then just because I thought I've never even attempted this. I'm just gonna see what it's like. I remember I was judging and I actively told someone, just take the +2. You take more than 2 seconds to do the move, and he was like, oh yeah, you're right. And he took the +2. That was my feet experience, basically. I'll just do this. I'll just go to my drunk session, switch it to 3x3, and then I'll just use this cube. Because why not? If anyone can tell me what cube this is, they'll get a high five. if I see them ever. Wow, okay. Moyu Huanglong. That is not a thing. Moyu did not make the Huanglong. That was Yushin. That's not my main ARPR. Why am I using that? Moyu Along V1? Nope, you guys are still wrong. Yeah, didn't the Super Along come out? I like I'm just doing ZB a lot. Yeah, it did come out? Okay. I don't know how I got a 9 when that first saw. That was quite insane. Anyone have any idea what this could be? How should I go about learning my first ZB set? Evaluate if this is how you want to spend your time first. Ask yourself the question, why am I learning ZBLL? Because trust me, it goes a long way. I assume you meant to type YJ Ulong, which is also incorrect. This is... I mean, you can kind of just see the logo right now, but it is a Moyu cube, I'll give you that. It actually had YJ on the box, which is interesting, because back then they were sub-brands of each other, and nowadays they're like considered different brands. I don't know when that happened, or why it happened, but I just know that it did happen. That was cool. You got shafted saying Moyu Weilong. You are correct. You get a high five next time I see you, if I ever see you in my lifetime. That is a center cap gone. Back when this cube was being used, no one knew full ZB. I actually think like 2 people did. No, I did the wrong alg. Whoopsies. Alright, BPA average of 12 is 11.6? How? That's actually like a lot better than I thought. $11.7. Not too shabby. Okay. I want to see if I can get a sub 10 average on this cube. Because this is the cube that Faz used to get is 6.54. Which, if you guys weren't cubing, or like aren't familiar with like older cubing records, the 6.54 back then was like the equivalent to like Max Shaw's 502 Squan average. Like, yeah, it was theoretically possible at the time, but like no one expected it to happen for years to come. That's basically the average that he got then. Because the world record was 7.4 average at the time, and then he dropped it down straight to 6.5. And that lasted for a whole 2 years. .86 ties my PR single. Oh, I got a 7? Since when? I didn't notice I got a 7 until you mentioned it. Bet I'm pulling up to you to claim my high five. Nice. I hadn't scrolled down on my thingy over here, so it took a while. What is the best comp that you've ever went to? The best comp? It's pretty much a toss-up between all of the nationals and like worlds. But I think just because of recency bias, I'm gonna say worlds. Okay, my best average of 5 is 10.2. Wait, I can get it right here. My BPA is sub 10. Wow. 959 average. I inspected cross plus 2 really easily there. The biggest competition I've ever gone to was a 100-person limit. Oh, biggest. I thought you meant best. If we're talking biggest competition I've ever gone to, then it was by far Worlds. Because that's the biggest competition ever, and I went to it. I'm actually really curious, like, how many personal records were broken at that competition? I'm sure there's probably a way to find out, but it would probably take a lot of computer knowledge that I just do not have. Because it's got to be like almost 10,000 PRs, right? Because there's so many events and so many competitors that I guarantee you that a lot of people got multiple. Especially like given some of the scramble sets there were pretty insane. Also, that was dumb. That ZBLS is just insert pair into that, so I basically just did the oops method. Any of y'all know what that is? That's a shower thought question. Well, it's the question that I came up with. My brain is in a perpetual shower, I guess. There we go. I blanked between that and a bunch of cases that are similar to it. I love Z-Perm so much. Should I just switch to the RU Z-Perm at this point because my emus are so terrible? Will you ever use full ZB in competition? Technically I already have, but not really. I can definitely see me doing full ZB like for a couple of cases that I get fortunate enough, like especially on big cubes like 5. Just because like the lower move count is definitely a trade-off that could be worth taking in the moment. But in terms of like maining the method for 3x3, probably never, just because I don't care enough about 3x3 to do that. Especially if I'm already like this good with C-Fob, why continue? When are you gonna get to the Q&A video? Yeah, I've been putting it off for like a month now. So I have another video that I just recorded earlier this morning that I'm going to edit and post at the beginning of next year. And then after that, I will upload the Q&A. So I guarantee the videos will go in this order, and it will be... And you can mark my words on this. I will be committed to this. The order of the videos will be my 2026 goals video, my Q&A video, and then whatever PRs I get at my comp in January. That's the order of my videos will take right now. Any other stuff, I'll just put on my bin channel. Wow. I thought that was going to be a lot better than it actually was. I want to see Road to X in some event in X days. I won't do Road to X because that implies that I'm going to achieve a time in a certain limit, which that can cause extra strain, extra nerves, and then that can result in a not so good video. However, I will do getting good at event in X amount of days. Because there is a little bit of ambiguity when it comes to that, and also that's the format that I see the most success with on my platform of YouTube. I could definitely like achieve certain goal times, but setting myself a goal to achieve to can just put extra pressure, and it can cause burnout a lot more easily. the downside of doing how fast can I get at X event is there is no specific limit. So in theory, I could just do nothing and then not improve at all, but then that would kind of make for a shit video. So I tend to, well, I mean, the video itself already makes me motivated enough to not do something like that. I can't use the newer V-Perm, it's not that good. I think I need to like change my turning style to make it work with this cube. Yeah. Okay, I did it where my grip was a lot more open, like open to regrips, and it definitely worked. Which is kind of this turning style that Felix Zemnigs uses now, just because he used cubes like this, so it's what he was used to. Yeah, it's definitely working much better. What I don't understand is how the hell do you get 6.5 average with this thing? Oh, with scrambles like this. Hold on. Nice execution. Yeah, that was just bad. Yiheng can probably get a sub 6 average on that first try. Well, yeah, that's because he's Yiheng Wang. But like the difference is Yiheng Wang was born in 2013. 2013 was the year that Faz got a 6.54 average on this thing. Alright, let's go for one sub 7 single. And if I can't get sub 7 within like the next 20 minutes, then I just take my next sub 8 and dip. I really want it to be a 6.54 or lower though. Just like prove that it is possible. Because so far I've not even come close. Because, like, my best is still at 7.8, right? 7.2? When I get that? When did I get a 7.2? I should use the older G perms. That's good. That was good PyZV recognition, but the rest of the salt just didn't live up to sub 7 standards. I basically need to get a salt like that, except have my PyZV be insane. You know what? It's like so few moves to like a pseudo double X cross. I'm just gonna do it. I think that was worth it. Oh, come on. I actually had good M move turning on that U perm. Why am I even using the MU U perms? That's stupid. Dang it, man. What? What the hell just happened? Oh, that was so good. Yeah, the reverse corner cutting is definitely holding me back a decent bit. Bleh. That's a curse time, lol? What is a curse time? It has the forbidden numbers that's in the 60s. Oh, 6-7. I went for ZB on that solve and it kind of worked out. Center cap. Surprise. Okay. Apparently my best AO12 is sub 9. That was a good ZB recognition. Nice, Daisy. Oh, that was so good. That was also like crazy TPS for absolutely no reason. Another good M move. Alright, I believe this is the one. Thanks, ePerm. You ruined my dreams. It wasn't the ePerm's fault. next time I get a sub 8, I'm gonna end the stream. So I must really hope that the next time it is sub 8, it's sub 7 as well. I'm gonna do one more because that was really quick. Classic keyword, just one more solve. My hat! Oh, it's literally just that. I'm dumb. What up, King Clocker? This will actually be my last few minutes of the live stream. I just need to get one more 7 and I'm good. My hat! One more 7, then proceeds to do a stream for another hour because he gets too many 801s. Nah, man, you're tripping. You know what? This solve right here, 777. I'm calling it right now. Okay, it was actually kind of good. I was within, like, what, 3/4 of a second? I'd say that's pretty good. Calling it 9.2, 8.1. Okay, well, you guys were both wrong. .5 on this one. Sorry. What up, Finn? How's the knee doing? Have you been walking at all? Not 8.3. Calling 8.4. It was 8.3 too, so you're close. Wow, that turning. I didn't think it was possible to get good turning on a Moyu Wailong, but here we are. That was not good turning on a Mighty Wailing V1. Submit! Woo! Let's go. That is good. Wow. I cannot believe I got a sub Mitch on a Waylon. I suppose that's the cube that he used to get his Mitch, right? He used the Waylon V1, yeah? I think so. Oh, okay. I'm gonna do one more solve just because I have a good average of 5. That's my best right now, and I could roll it. Yeah? Alright. Slayer skip. No. Alright, last saving grace. This basically needs to be another 6. Yo, why am I getting the best scramble of my life on the Waylon? Why is that happening? What? What do you mean I got bailed out? Oh, why am I so bad? I predicted first 2, but not the cross. Okay, well, now that I have accounting 6 and accounting 10, like, the whole universe is, like... I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just kind of flabbergasted by that scramble. That scramble, like, made my brain cease to function. I had never seen a scramble that ridiculous in my life. Ah, of course. Classic. Just the wrong ZV. Dude, what the hell was any of that? I got accounting 6 on a freaking Moyu Waylon. I might clip that, actually. Can someone clip that? That is the dumbest scramble I've ever got cheated in my life. I did pseudo slotting for cross plus 2 because it was basically free. Yeah, so I did that pair, like this pair here, and then double X cross, and then this one, my edge is already oriented, which is nice. What the hell? I feel like there's something that you can do that's... Because, like, if this was your FMC scramble, it's a 1 move X cross on the inverse. Alright, I actually, like, started tracking this pair because I was gonna do this pair first. But then I couldn't track it. What would it have been? It would have been this. And then I would have either inserted... I likely would have inserted like that. And that would have led me with this into... Ah, that's such a nice 2GLO. Alright, let's check the alt solution. So it would have been that into this. I would have done that. No, I wouldn't have. Okay, well, I messed up that, so, let's just forget that all happened, and just pretend that we're checking the other one now. Okay. So it was here. Would have done this, and then this I just oriented, so I would have done that. Bro, literally anything would have given me a 5. Any other solution, if I did that pair first like I was planning, it's a 5. Free rough you for me, you kidding? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I cannot comprehend that scramble. Alright, well, I'll see you guys on my next live stream. I don't know when it'll be. Actually, I do know when it'll be. It'll be tomorrow. I'm live streaming tomorrow to solve this thing. This is a 14 by 14 I got for Christmas. This is the largest N by N that I own now, and I cannot wait to solve it. My prediction is it's going to take a little bit over an hour and a half, like maybe 100 minutes. That's my prediction. All right, but in the meantime, bye. Bye-bye.